Hey guys, it's Kaylee. I'm back with another what sold from last week video. In today's video, we are going to be going over recent sales on eBay and Poshmark. I don't have much to say. Sales have been pretty steady for us, so we're just going to dive right into it. All right, you guys, so all these sales happened between April 21st and the 27th. It feels so good to be back on track and not behind on these what sold videos, and hopefully you guys are appreciating them too. Just pulled together this report and I had to take a second because the numbers were so similar to last week that I thought maybe I had gotten something wrong. I was pulling the wrong week. But if you guys watched last week's video, if you compare these numbers, they are seriously almost identical. Very, very close to last week. So that just goes to show you how consistent sales have been for us. And I think it's just because we're doing the same thing every single week, like without fail. So very happy with these numbers. Slightly higher than last week, I believe. In total, I sold 281 items for gross item sales total of almost $8,200. My average sale price between both platforms was $29.18. That is lower than I would like it to be. I'm not going to get into that. I feel like I talk about it every single week. You guys know, trying to get closer to 40. On eBay, I sold 126 items. My average sale price on eBay was awesome. It was $38.46. And then on Poshmark, I sold 155 items, but my average sale price was only $21.64. So continuing to move a lot of those older items. All right, we have a lot to go through, so I'm going to try to be quick. Just a reminder for you guys, if you're new to these videos, on the eBay portion, I do include the start time up here at the top. If you want to figure out, how long an item took to sell. And then typically we do have our cost of goods in our custom label up here as well. So if you guys are interested in those numbers, you can look at those for yourself here on the screen. So my cost of goods for this item, for example, was $10.39. I did pay up for this one, but this is a super awesome brand that you guys need to look up and memorize. Great sell-through rate, great comps. It is called Best Made Co. This, I believe, is a brand sold on Huckberry. You guys have heard me talk about that a lot. If not, it's a Huckberry-esque brand, but very high quality brand in the men's department. This is a men's Sherpa jacket, and I was lucky enough to find it new with tags at a Goodwill, and they only had it priced up to about $10. I was so happy with that. So I listed this for around $160. It sold extremely quickly for an offer to watcher of $136. Could not be happier with that sale. You definitely want to keep your eye out for this brand, Best Made Co. All right, next up, this is a style that myself and a bunch of people in the group are looking for right now, and we're having really great luck with. And they are these like vintage silky midi or maxi gowns. They do have to have kind of an edge to them and certain factors. This would be one of those pieces. This one is by Nicole Miller. It is a collection piece. This isn't typically a brand I get. But again, just the overall aesthetic and category that it's in is trending right now. This is a size 12. It's 100% silk. Beautiful, long, silky maxi gown, kind of like a slip dress. And I included the keyword witchy in the title because that is also a very trendy aesthetic right now, and I just thought it really, really fit the piece. I listed this for $125, and it did sell for our full asking price. It did take a few months to sell, but full asking price for a brand that most people don't pick up, I think is pretty awesome. Next up, I have a women's golfer brand and men's golfer brand that you guys want to be on the lookout for. If you guys watched that golf deep dive video, you would have remembered this brand G4, and I talked about how the women's items also perform very well also. This was a G4 women's golf skirt, and I actually found this new with tags, so very lucky there. And I picked this up at a Goodwill for regular price $4.99. I listed it at $100. It sold extremely quickly, only 4 days to sell on an offer to watcher, which is basically on eBay. You can send out offers to people who save your item. And I usually send out 15% off offers just in bulk on everything. I don't change the percentage based on the item. It's just 15% off is what I'm comfortable with. It's a blanket offer that I send out to watchers. And this item sold on one of those offers for $85. Super quick flip. All right, next up, we are in spring and summer, and we have been preaching and hammering to really be picking up in-season items, but there are some winter, fall items that can still perform well, even if you have to drop the price slightly. So this would be one of those pieces for me. North Face puffer jackets perform extremely well in fall and winter. I could probably get $100 for this if it would have been, you know, several months ago. Now that we are in spring and summer, I listed this item for $65. It is a North Face women's extra large, which the larger size definitely helps increase value. Thermal ball, which is basically a mock version of down. Essentially, it's like their version of a down alternative jacket, which thermal ball items are very, very trendy in the North Face brand category. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. But I would say almost as valuable as even the down items, because some people want, you know, real down feathers. Others want the down alternative. And I think both in the brand, the North Face, can be extremely effective as far as sales go. So this was also quilted, which helped to increase the value. I listed this for $65 again, because we are not in season for it. So just wanted to give that edge on sell-through rate, I guess, to increase sell-through rate a little bit. I actually paid up for this, but I knew it would flip quickly. I paid $19. I listed it for $65. It actually sold within a bundle, and it sold for, I think I offer like 20% off or something like that. So it would have sold for around $50 to $55. So 19 into about 50, 55. And a quick flip. Those are the type of things that I like to pick up even when they're out of season. All right, this one also took a while to sell. It is a brand that retails for quite a bit and has some pretty strong resell value. It just doesn't always sell quickly. It is Acris. Punto is their line. If you find just Acris, you guys have told me that it's like a better line, but this is Acris Punto. These are a pair of women's wide leg white high-rise shorts. I paid $4.99 for them. We listed them for $55. They did take, let's see, almost a year to sell, so about 10 months. But they did sell for full asking price. And I've gotten this question before, which is, if I drop prices every single month, how could this still be sold for full asking price? And the answer is that eBay gives you trouble whenever you have open offers on an item. It doesn't let you edit things. So I would guess that this had offers on it for quite a while, and I was not able to edit or revise the listing because of that. So whenever that's the case, I think it just gets skipped, or it causes like a glitch in the bulk pricing editor. And so it ends up sending at full price, which can be a huge issue, because if you've got a lot of watchers on an item and it constantly gets skipped in your price reduction, you know, that's potential sales that you are missing out on. So I think that's why this sad, I think eBay just glitches out whenever there's watchers. So, but it did end up selling for my full asking price almost a year later. Still happy with it. I probably should have dropped the price a little bit to increase that sell-through rate. All right, next up, this is a brand that also does not have a 100% sell-through rate, but seems to sell for quite a bit. It is Fin Comfort. You guys know I love looking at comfort brands of shoes. Maybe we should do a video on that. But they perform extremely well compared to, you know, fashion shoes and things like that, at least for me. So this is a brand that's been on my radar for a while. Fin Comfort, and it's also made in Germany, which is a good indicator of high quality. So these are a pair, they're called the Alanya sandals, and anytime I find Fin Comfort, regardless of comps, I pick it up. It always sells very quickly. I listed these for $50. They sold for my full asking price of $50. They also make men's shoes, and I have sold the men's shoes for closer to $100 before when they're in excellent condition. So definitely keep your eye out for that. All right, next up, this is another designer brand that performs extremely well. It is Brochu Walker, especially right now if you've got kind of a summer or spring item. This one's like a nautical button-up, pretty classic piece for this time of the year. So definitely an in-season piece, I think. I listed this one for $45. It did sell for our full asking price. And we're also selling, speaking of out of season things like that North Face thermal ball jacket, we're also still selling a lot of the men's wool Pendleton shirts. I have no idea why. They're just still extremely popular, so keep your eye out for them, especially when they say a specific style. That's a good indicator to look something up. This one is a Pendleton men's trail shirt, and you can see it's made out of wool. This one is also a size extra large, and it has elbow patches on the back. So all, again, good indicators of quality. I listed this one for $50 and it did sell for our full asking price. Next up, this is a brand I would recommend looking for in plus sizes and or things that, even if they're smaller than a plus size, have extreme value or a lot of valuable factors. And you're going to see a lot of examples of these types of items in multiple brands throughout this video. Soft Surroundings is definitely a brand you can factor stack with. So if you find something plus size, sell-through rate's super high. This one is not plus size, it is an extra large petite, but it is a more substantial piece. It is a midi length dress and it's very on trend, you know, multicolor floral, super in right now. I listed this for $50. It sold on an offer to watcher for $42. This one only took 2 days to sell also. All right, next up, this is a brand you guys want to look for. You guys might remember this. I showed this, I think it was a Thrift With Me video. This is the brand Farm Rio, and sometimes it just says Farm. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this. And sometimes it also just has this little logo here. So memorize it, keep your eye out for it. It can be a very valuable brand. It is sometimes sold at Anthropologie, and they also make their own stuff as well, both of which I think are valuable. But again, bright multicolor pieces, very trendy. This is a mini shirt dress. I listed this for $55 and it sold on an offer to watcher for $47. And again, just in general right now, these bright multicolor pieces, good indicators of a factor worth selling because they're very on trend and in season. All right, this brand has been surprising me lately. It is Baltic Born. They make really gorgeous formal dresses, but also casual dresses. They remind me a lot of Lulu's. You know, they offer an array of like casual, but also formal stuff. This brand, if you look it up, does not have a 100% sell-through rate, but we've been testing it out. We've sold quite a few of them, and what we've noticed are that the larger sizes definitely perform better, but also if you find it new with tags, I would say pick it up. This one we were lucky enough to find new with tags and it was a larger size, and we listed this for $50 and it did sell for our full asking price. And we also sold this one, which I think is funny because this one is the same size, but it's not new with tags and it sold for about the same price. So I think it really depends on style, color, stuff of that nature, but definitely the larger sizes and Baltic Born can do well. This one we listed for $45 and it did sell for our full asking price. Next up, very similarly to Soft Surroundings, Maeve by Anthropologie is another brand that I love getting in larger sizes, but even if it's not larger size, as long as it is a substantial piece and has multiple sellable features, we'll pick it up. And this is the case for this piece. This is a size 14, so pretty decent size. It is gingham plaid. It is kind of like an asymmetric hem, wrap style, and it is longer length. And had this had all of those things but not been longer length, I probably would have left it behind because it's really the midi and maxi length that are really pulling these pieces through. This one we listed at $50 and it ended up selling on an offer to watcher for $42. All right, here is a kids piece. I think it's no surprise, but Burberry kids pieces can perform well. Pretty much any brand that sells really well in adult sizes, if they make kids, it probably sells well also, but I just thought this was worth showing. I know it's kind of like a no-brainer, but some people don't even know that Burberry makes kids stuff. So I thought it would be worth showing. And I also thought it would be an interesting piece to show you because originally my listers had this as the cover photo and I made them retake it to this. Can you guys spot the difference? Went from this to this. If your answer was to show the plaid, even though it's on the inside, you are correct. Showing any kind of this traditional Burberry colored plaid, even if it's on the inside, significantly increases the value in the buyer's eyes and will likely increase the sell-through rate as well. So if you've got anything Burberry and you're not showing the plaid, even if it's just on the inner lining or maybe if it's like a flip cuff, definitely want to show that. Even if it's not their traditional colors, plaid and Burberry really increases the value. But I thought this is an interesting piece and I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that Burberry also made kids pieces. This one did have some pretty significant wash wear. You can see there's like quite a bit of pilling throughout. We listed it for $50 because of that, and it sold on an offer to watcher for $42. $42. Keep your eye out for this stuff. All right, next up, another brand you want to look for, CC Filson. I would pick up this brand in just about anything. Sometimes it doesn't say CC, sometimes it just says Filson too, so keep your eye out for that. But this is also a category I wanted to share with you guys because even though it is spring and summer, the merino wool base layer pieces in a lot of brands are still performing very well. This is one of those pieces. So CC Filson's obviously a fantastic brand, but this is a 100% merino wool t-shirt. Anytime you guys see a wool t-shirt, you definitely want to look it up. More than likely it is a good brand. I just found a dress brand recently that also was very similar, selling really well still during spring. So keep your eye out for it. This one is a CC Filson men's. It's called a 210G, which I think is just like the weight of the merino wool. I listed this for $45 and it did sell for our full asking price. And I think honestly, the pre-owned merino wool base layers in just about any brand, at least for the men's department, are usually selling for like 40 to 50 bucks. So keep your eye out for it. Next up, this is a brand that performs extremely well in plus sizes. It is Talbot's. This is a Talbot's 3X. This is a very on-trend dress, like super boho. It is a little bit of a longer length. It's got embroidery, and we were lucky enough to find it new with tags. For all of those reasons, I priced high at $40 and it did sell for our full asking price. Here is another Talbot's plus size piece. This one is pre-owned. It's also a dress. It is a red lace dress. I listed this one for $35 and it sold for our full asking price. This is a brand in bathing suits you want to keep your eye out for. It's called Miracle Suit. Specifically, if you can find it in the larger sizes, it will perform better. I've seen some of these go for like pre-owned like 80 bucks. I think it really depends on the size, the color, all of that stuff. I priced mine kind of, I would say more modestly, just because I wanted to ensure it would sell quickly, and it did. So Miracle Suit, this is a pink one-piece kind of like dress swimsuit, size 18W. These, you can find them pretty often, so again, keep your eye out for it. It's really easy to look over. We listed this for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34, and it sold the exact same day that we listed it. All right, here is another brand that performs extremely well in plus sizes. However, you can get away with the smaller sizes if you factor stack. Again, the longer length items, we're talking skirts and dresses, are really going to pull the sale through. And then of course, if you have additional factors like a great material or some other features, definitely going to increase value. This is a pink Eileen Fisher linen midi skirt. However, it is a size extra small. But again, all of those factors, pink's very trendy right now, very trendy color, long length midi skirt, and it's linen, like all great things. For those reasons, we priced it for $40 and it did sell for our full asking price. This is a brand that also performs well in plus sizes. However, this is a brand I would say I don't think it's a brand you can factor stack with a lot. There are very few pieces that sell well in this brand now. It is fresh produce, but their plus sizes for sure perform very well. And then there's few exceptions when it's not plus sizes. This one is called the Dahlia midi dress. We found it new at tags and it is a 3X. We listed this for $40. It did sell for our full asking price. Next up, and surprisingly, I don't think I put this brand in the, maybe I did. I honestly can't remember. I just made that men's golf wear deep dive and I can't even remember what brands were in it. But Psycho Bunny, if I didn't put it in it, which I kind of think I didn't, is another great men's golf wear brand to look for. They also make women's pieces too, but the men's are definitely where it's at. This is a men's golf polo. I listed it for $35 and it did sell for our full asking price. This next one is a Diane von Furstenberg. This is a designer brand. Does not have a 100% sell-through rate, but if you're willing to sit on it, can sell to the right buyer for a decent amount. This one actually had a lot of factor stacking. Anytime you guys see a silk top and a wrap together, regardless of brand, typically that combination is pretty powerful and can significantly increase the value in a lot of brands that you wouldn't expect, like mall brands. So keep your eye out for silk wrap tops and silk wrap dresses too. Beyond that, this is also a beautiful green. And if you guys are not familiar with Kelly green, which we should have put in our title and we didn't, it is a very popular color right now. So this color right here is a Kelly green, think like shamrock green, and things have been selling like crazy in this color. I listed this for $35 and it sold for full asking price. Honestly, we probably could have listed this higher if we would have caught that it was Kelly green. I probably would have listed closer to $50, but still a great sale at $35. Here's another brand, performs extremely well in plus sizes, but if you find sizes smaller than that and you can factor stack, mostly longer length, keep that in mind, can perform well. I gotta quit saying that. I know I'm saying it a lot, but I just want to drive that point home, because there are things you can still pick up in sizes smaller than plus size if you've got the right factors there, and longer length is definitely one of them. This is a J. Jill women's size extra large petite midi dress. Listed this for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a Log and Look brand, Habitat. This brand does not have a 100% sell-through rate, but their linen pieces can perform extremely well. This is a women's Log and Look kind of oversized Habitat top. It is linen and it's a size large. I listed it for $35. It sold for full asking price. All right, and these next few sales, we sell a lot of these. I've mentioned it before, but Lululemon shorts, not like spandex shorts, but like running shorts. There are many styles, sell very well, like $30 to $40 all day long, pre-owned on eBay and Poshmark. So keep your eye out for it. I know we skip the shorts section a lot of the time just because there aren't many profitable brands, but Lululemon running type shorts do perform well. I'm just going to go through these quickly. These are the speed up shorts. They sold for $35. Here's another pair of speed up shorts in camo. It sold for $30. Got a pair of Hottie Hot shorts, so a little bit different of a style. These sold for full asking price for $30. And another pair of those speed up shorts, and they went for $25, and that's because they had a small stain on them. Next up, this is a brand. I love selling this brand. I just have a hard time saying no to it. It's very similar to Johnny Was, just doesn't sell for as much. But if you have a super boho piece, can do well. If you have a size large or higher or anything velvet in this brand, I would definitely get it. Super high sell-through rate in those two things, size large and higher and velvet pieces. This one was just a size small. It was a beautiful like embroidered tunic top. I listed this last year, so another one of those that took almost a year to sell. I listed this for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. Here's another brand that you want to look for during this time of the year. It is Flax. I think I've mentioned this in every video. Very strong brand in linen. This is just a short sleeve top. We listed it for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. Here is another fresh produce piece, and this is an example of an exception. So this is not plus size, but it is a vintage label, and their vintage longer length dresses do perform pretty well. So this is a floral maxi dress, again, specifically vintage in a size small. Listed this for $35, and it did sell on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a newer brand to me. It is called Bridge and Burn. I feel like this either, I don't know, I feel like it must be an up and coming brand, or maybe they just make things in small batches. But not a lot of information on this, and it seemed to perform better on Poshmark than eBay, but a brand I'm going to keep on my radar. So Bridge and Burn. This one's a pullover sweatshirt. I listed it for $30, and it did sell pretty quickly, within about like 3 weeks. Not 3 weeks, about a month, for an offer to watcher of $25. This is a brand that performs well in plus sizes. It is Savannah Jane. This is a size 2X. Once you reach plus sizes in this brand, it is 100% sell-through rate. If you do sizes less than that, not so much, even though it might be like a beautiful, heavily embroidered piece. If it's not plus size, it doesn't sell as quickly. This is a mustard color embroidered top in a size 2X. I listed it for $30, and it sold for full asking price. This is a vintage Alan Jackson cut-off tank. Unfortunately, and I don't know if it makes it cooler. I kind of think it makes it cooler, but I'm not sure for the buyer. Someone DIY cut the neckline and the sleeves, but really cool all over piece. I listed this for $30 only because comps were actually surprisingly not that high for stuff like this, and it did sell for our full asking price. This is another soft surroundings piece. This one is a plus size. Remember, plus size in this brand performs extremely well as far as sell-through rate goes. I listed this on April 13th. It sold on April 24th. So again, just a testament to the sell-through rate of the plus size pieces. This is a beautiful horse print tunic top. I listed it for $30. It sold on an offer to watcher for $25. Again, this is J. Jill. Plus size pieces in this brand have a high sell-through rate. Lower than that does not. However, sometimes you can get away if you factor stack. This is a maxi length skirt with the longer length again. Size large, and it is linen. I listed this for $30, and it sold on an offer to watcher for $25. Eileen Fisher plus size pieces, very high sell-through rates, even in something as plain as a tank top. This is a sleeveless tank top in a size 3X. I listed it for $30. It did sell for our full asking price. This is another brand I mentioned on the men's golf wear video. It is Rowback, and I totally like misremembered how much these sell for, but it's fine because you guys are learning this now. But this is a Rowback men's baseball cap. I found this at the bins, and yeah, I guess people just didn't know what this was, or they just saw the logo and they weren't sure. But if you guys see that dog logo, they make hats, they make belts, they make pants, shorts, polos, all the good stuff, and they sell extremely well. So I found this at the bins, probably paid like, I don't even know, like 50 cents maybe, if that, for it. And it sold very quickly for full asking price of $30, which is great for a pre-owned hat. And next up is another one that performs well in larger sizes. It is Free People. This is their new Romantics line. I automatically grabbed it because it was a size large. Again, same thing with Anthropologie, size large and higher in this brand. Brands perform extremely well. So picked it up. It was kind of a more simple piece, listed it for $25. It did sell for full asking price. And last one on eBay before diving into the Poshmark sales. This is another great bread and butter you guys can look for. Abercrombie and Fitch joggers, even in the women's. So like if it's Y2K sweatpants, either joggers or like a boot cut or a flare kind of like yoga pant, those also perform very well. But yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch Y2K pieces doing excellent, and I find that a lot of people don't really pay attention to the sweatpants in both men's and women's, so keep your eye out for that. The men's sell for even more. This was a pair of yellow joggers. We listed it for $25, included the keyword Y2K. It sold very quickly on an offer to watcher for $21. All right, now moving on to the Poshmark sales. This is another example of like a longer length kind of silky kind of dress. This one is by Lauren Ralph Lauren, and we included the keyword grunge in there. It is a older label, lots of keywords in here, but super pretty piece. Again, these types of dresses are selling well, and honestly they have for years. I've been doing this for years with these vintage dresses. This one ended up selling on an offer for $40. Here's a brand you guys might want to learn about. It is a newer brand to me. It's called 10,000. This is an athletic wear brand. These are actually a pair of men's tights, and they sold for $45 pre-owned. So keep your eye out for 10,000. Here's another example of an item that is a winter item, but can perform well in spring and summer if you price it correctly. This is an Aran Crafts, made in Ireland, good indicator of a good wool piece. 100% wool, size large, cardigan, cable knit. Like, I could not put any more into this, right? We included the keyword fisherman just because of the all over cable knit on this, and it ended up selling on an offer for $50, which I think is really good for this time of the year. Had this been winter, I probably could have gotten like, I don't know, maybe $65, $75 for it. Here is a vintage brand that you want to know about. There aren't very many vintage brands you can memorize and know that they're going to perform well, but this one actually does. It is called Tomboy of California. This is a women's corduroy vest, and it sold for $40. This is one of my favorite brands to sell bread and butter wise. It is James Purse. This one's standard by James Purse. They make really great capsule pieces, and even their like t-shirts can sell for $25 if you've got, you know, the right condition or the right size. But anytime I find new with tags, standard James Purse, I always get it. It always sells for a lot. This one was a camo sweatshirt in a size 3, which translates to a size large. And it ended up selling for $68 very quickly on Poshmark. Here's another example of a winter item. This is a Patagonia Nano Air jacket in a women's size extra large. Nice kind of like vintagey purple. And this ended up selling for $110 in hot weather. So definitely, again, just know your limits, I guess, as far as picking up winter items go. Make sure they are really substantial pieces, and make sure that if you need to price drop it slightly, that you have room to do so. Here's another brand that performs well in the longer length dresses for me during this time of the year. It is J. Crew. This is a button front midi dress, and it's new with tags. That definitely helped. Bright multicolor, all great things. This ended up selling for $50 on Poshmark. Another J. Crew piece. Surprisingly, the sell-through rate on the J. Crew women's blazers has dropped a lot. However, we're still selling them. So I think my strategy is going to be to pick them up, but to price them much lower than everybody else. This is the J. Crew women's Regent blazer, one of their more popular styles, in a size 12. And this one sold on an offer for $40. You're going to see some more J. Crew blazers here in a moment. I could not do a what sold video without showing you at least a Lilly Pulitzer sale, just in case you were new to reselling and you didn't know this brand, Lilly Pulitzer. They make bright multicolor printed stuff like this, and you definitely want to look for it in spring and summer. They make tops, they make shorts, they make dresses, all kinds of things. If you see a bright multicolor print, I would just look it up because Lily Pulitzer is leading the pack as far as bright multicolor prints go. But also, if you notice something that looks similar to this in another brand, it might be worth looking up, because when one brand like Lily Pulitzer is super popular, not everybody wants to spend that kind of money to buy Lily Pulitzer, so they look for alternatives, and that's where you can look for the same factors in other brands. Anyways, this was a floral maxi dress, and we sold it for $51 on Poshmark. This is a brand, I don't come across it very often, but when I do, I pick it up if it's like either multicolor or it's like a skulls, or it has something going for it. This is a size large pair of constantly varied gear. Sometimes it just says CVG, size large multicolor pair of shorts, and these sold for full asking price of $30 on Posh. This is kind of a trust your gut sale. I almost never pick up this brand, Casper with a K, but the factors were there. So it was an 18W plus size. It was bright multicolor. I just thought it was really on trend. And I went ahead and listed it, and it ended up selling very quickly, surprisingly, for $30 on Posh. All right, here is a brand that I have a love-hate relationship with. It is COS, or COS, kind of a higher line put out by H&M. And what I have been told by the viewers in the comments is that the oversized, kind of more minimalist pieces are what perform well. I would consider this one of those pieces. This is a black puff sleeve maxi dress, kind of has like a dolman shape to it too, kind of login look style. And it ended up selling for $40, which is funny because we just sold, I think it was just like a plain kind of oversized minimalist looking shirt for around the same price. I think maybe last week I showed that. So keep your eye out for it. I'm learning a lot from you guys in the comments, and I'm going to keep testing out these theories. All right, here is another brand that performs well in the men's department. It is, I think it's pronounced distilled, but it's DSTLD. Great comps on this. Definitely want to keep your eye out for it. This is a men's Sherpa jacket, and it was new with tags. It sold on an offer to watcher for $90. And look at this tag, you guys. I definitely think people would pass on this if they didn't know to look for it. Here's another J. Crew blazer. This is their schoolboy blazer in a size 10. It is made of wool, again, more of a winter piece, and it sold for $47. Here's the brand Honey Love. I showed a ton of this in the last What Sold video. We sold more Honey Love pieces. This is just an absolutely fantastic brand to look for in the intimates department, so keep your eye out for it. This was just a size large bra. It had a slight flaw to it. Still sold pre-owned for $27. Get in while you can. Try to find this brand. Here is a designer brand, a Nine or a Nine Bing. This is a button-down shirt. It sold for $52. This brand I always pick up just because it retails for so much, but I usually price lower than everybody else because the sell-through rate is not super high. This is a shoe brand that tends to perform extremely well in boots. It is Timberland, both men's and women's, and I find that a lot of resellers pass on this brand, but I snatch them up. So these are a pair of hiking boots by Timberland. They often make their boots where the leather does look distressed, so don't let that deter you as long as everything else looks good, which these ones were in pretty good shape. And these ended up selling for $40 on Poshmark. I find these at the bins all the time and people pass on them. This is an Athleta piece. I think I've talked about this recently too. These very soft material, oversized, longer length cardigans by Athleta. Their newer styles are still performing very well. This is called the Pranayama Restore Wrap Cardigan. Very popular style. And honestly, I found a ton of them recently. So I think they're out there. Just know what you're looking for, because not every Athleta piece sells. This wrap cardigan sold for $35. Next up, this is a brand called Sunday Best. It is sold at Aritzia, and really it's the style I want you guys to look for. It is like a pleated black kind of gothy midi skirt, or not midi, mini skirt. Very trendy right now, this style is, so keep your eye out for that. The fact that it was also an Aritzia brand, I think really helped to increase value, and it sold on an offer to watcher for $34 on Posh. This is another category you might want to keep your eye out for. It is like equestrian gear. These are a pair of, they call them breeches, they call them jodhpurs, I think is how you pronounce it. But they're a pair of like horseback riding pants. A lot of people pass on these. There are some crazy brands out there that you can make really great money on. This one is the brand 4 Horses. Here is what the tag looks like. Again, if you didn't know to look for this, this would be something I would pass on for sure. So know these brands and pick up what everybody else is leaving behind. These ones pre-owned, you guys. Pre-owned, sold for $65. $65. Don't leave it on the table. Know these brands. Here's another flax piece. This is a larger size, and it is 100% linen, and it's a jacket. It sold for $42. Another J. Crew blazer. This one is another Regent blazer. It is linen. It sold for $32. This is a brand that is a really great bolo in the clothing department. It is, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, F-Gel or Fall Raven. Really great pieces, and depending on what you've got, can sell for a lot more. This one was called a Skog shirt, and essentially like a flannel, and it sold for $50 pre-owned. Here is another equestrian pair of horseback riding pants. It is by the brand Carrots. Here is their logo. This brand does pretty well as long as you have an adult size, and it sold for $34. And you can usually tell that they're horseback riding pants because the inside of the thighs or the inside of the legs here will have a different material. You can kind of see it here on this one. And last one, this is more of a factor stacking piece and something to look for in just about anything. If you see anything bright, multicolor, rainbow looking, which I would consider this kind of a rainbow look, we probably should have included that in the keyword. Definitely look it up with the keyword rainbow. Very trendy right now. This is a Torrid women's long length coat. It was also a larger size and a size 4X. So for all of those reasons, we picked it up and we listed it high. It ended up selling on an offer to watcher for $43. Alright guys, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you learned some bolos and some things that are selling right now on both of those platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.